Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing in my Tier 9 Chinese medium tank, the WZ-120. Now, when I was playing this game, I was actually in the middle of trying to 3-mark it. I was really close, and this was an awesome game I had that didn't quite push me over the edge, but got me quite close to my goal. And I'm excited to say that I was able to get it the other day, and it's actually the first Tier 9 tank that I've been able to 3-mark, so just a small milestone for me there. I also reached 1,000 subs the other day, and I'm super stoked about that. My channel is growing a lot faster than I really anticipated when I first made this a few months ago, and I want to thank you guys for all your support. I've been really busy with school lately, so my videos have been more sporadic than usual, but hopefully when I get onto a more structured schedule, I'll be able to have, at least a couple videos going up for you per week. Anyway, the map today is Sand River, and I am platooning with my brother Jacob, who is actually in Japan right now, and over the magic of the internet we were able to play a few games together, and I'm not sure if I've actually featured him on my channel before. He's an awesome player, probably one of the best I know, and I really do enjoy playing with him. Anyway, in terms of the teams, you'll notice that the teams are actually quite even. We both have an E100, and in terms of skill, they have a few blue, we have a couple blue. It's relatively balanced. I'm really not too worried that we're going to get rolled, and I'm not really too worried that we're going to do the rolling. When you're going for your marks, you really have to pay attention to the small details like that, because it kind of gauges on how aggressive you need to be in order to get damage. Usually on Sand River, I like to push into the middle of the map to get some initial spots, and I will just get the game started and show you exactly how I'm going to do that. I am running optics, and I have the crew skills recon and situational awareness, which allows my tier 9 medium tank to get maximum view range. I think it's actually up to like 450 something. Because of that, I am able to constantly spot anything that falls within that without having to set up binoculars or anything, and it gives me an advantage over anybody else that is not running optics and that can't get that extra whatever 40 35 view range. And I do highly recommend running optics on any tier 9 or tier 10 medium tank, some even tier 8 that you might possess. Now, my tank has very bad gun depression, and that's primarily the reason why I pushed the middle. Going north with this bad of gun depression is a really bad idea. Unfortunately, I took a nasty hit from that STRV. Very accurate, fast shooting gun on that thing. I don't want to take another one. There is no arty, so I'm able to stay here as long as I feel comfortable, but I noticed that giant push up north, down the one line is occurring, and most of our guys are going north and in the middle, and I realized that I need to be the one to go over there and do something about it. We have some TDs, good TDs sitting in our cap, but without eyes they're going to be completely blind and unable to do anything, and if our team gets taken in the base from behind, then it's pretty much going to be game over, because our middle will be completely overwhelmed. And really in these situations it's up to the player, yourself, to really analyze what's going on in the map and be flexible at all times. This is why a lot of good players, especially Unicoms, love to play medium tanks, because they pack a punch, but they're also able to get from point A to point B very quickly. If you do see a uni playing a tank destroyer or a heavy tank, it's probably going to be a faster tank, like maybe the E5 or the Grill 15. Anyway, I am pushing over here because my instinct is telling me that I need to get over here and get some spots, because the last thing I need is a bunch of tanks just coming up into our base from behind. And as I suspected, this WZ-120, and well, not really, I didn't know the WZ was going to be there, but there are tanks pushing this way. Now, I'm going to manufacture some gun depression, not by driving forward like a lot of people would do. It would be a very stupid idea to try to drive over this hill to shoot. And what I'm going to do is use my gun elevation and actually back up to get the shots. This can be done on pretty much any tank, but it's very effective with tanks that really don't have that gun depression. Now I take a shot in the side from the low, and my HP is getting down to about half, and I'm really worried about losing my marks here. It's very easy to get down to, when you're in like the 94, 93 percentile range, one bad game can drop you down to like 90%, which is really sucky. And I realized that it was my time to GTFO. Staying there would have been a death wish on my part, because the low would just put in one more shot into me and I would have died. And getting down to this little depression, I've actually never played this spot before, but there's no arty, and I really just need to stay alive and get some damage. I only have 1,300 damage so far, which is very, very pathetic for the amount of damage I've actually taken. Make that almost 1,800 now. Still, this will make my marks drop considerably if I die like this, and my goal is to at least hit 3,000. And I know that sounds kind of selfish. Here I'm playing just to get my marks, but you know, any other damage I can pump out is going to also benefit the team. Survivability is key. You'll notice in this game that the bad players, and by bad I mean the players that are unexperienced, the red and yellow players, usually are the ones that end up dying first in a game that's more prolonged like this, because they really have no idea what to do. They end up pushing forward when it's not very effective, and they get themselves killed. Anyway, I'll get back to this game. The E100 is pushing me. He wants to finish me off, clearly, and I put a shot into his track just to slow that down because I know my brother is going to be able to get a shot into him. I bait him into a shot there. He bounces my turret, fortunately, with heat, and I do put an HE round into his track because I'm trying to pin him, because the second he gets around this corner, I'm going to be dead. So that shot that I put into his track earlier was the reason I'm still alive. And these are the moments where, you know, that separate the good players from the bad, where you have to realize, okay, what do I need to do in this exact situation to survive? Putting that shot into his track allowed me to live instead of just going for that extra bit of damage. So that bad chat is coming down here, and remember what I said about red players kind of pushing out, not knowing exactly what they're doing? Check this guy out. He's not looking at me, he's also not looking at Jacob. He's just kind of pushing out like, I wonder what I'm doing here. You know, full life bad chat, what a waste. He could have had such an impact if he played his tank correctly. I mean, it works for me, I guess, because it helped me get a couple more shots of damage in, putting my damage well over 3,000, and at this point, I'm a little bit more comfortable. I'm like, okay, if I die now, it's not the end of the world. I still want to get as much damage as possible. I still want to win, and I'm in communication with my brother saying, okay, Jake, you know, sit right there, kind of just stay up on that edge, and see if you can keep spotting that 5,100. I'm not sure if it was him that spotted him, probably not. It was more like the Scorpion that lit him, but I was able to get that good snapshot in. Now, he's down to a one shot for me, and I really want to get that shot in. I don't know if he's going to pop over or not. He's a green player, but in this situation, I have a low behind me, I have a AMX 5100 in front of me, and I have a Type 61 to my left, who at any point could come into the city and kill me. Fortunately, there's no arty that I have to worry about, so I'm able to sit here. And this is where patience is key. There's no need at this point in the game to just kind of rush out and get yourself killed. Even if I'm able to only get one more shot in, that one more shot can push me to 4,500 damage, which is awesome. And I know I sound like a stat whore talking so much about my marks, but you know, this is how I like to enjoy playing tanks. You know, I have these little milestones I like to achieve on tanks, and you know, it's just something that I like to do in my spare time. So the low is killed. I still don't know where the Type 61 is, but relocating to the base right now is going to be kind of a bad idea because I don't know where that Type 61 is. If I do push up over here onto the base, there's a good chance that AMX 5100 will light me and kill me, or the Type 61 will shoot me if I do get lit. And I'm between a rock and a hard place. There's really no reason for me to move right now because we are somewhat confined to this area, and moving up to where my brother is really isn't going to do me any good. Now, the Type 61 is lit, and now I know that the southern half of the map is, you know, 99% sure that it's completely cleared, and I can actually relocate now. Now, I really considered going down into the K1, K2 line and pushing all the way around, but I'm thinking, okay, even if I go over there, there's a good chance I won't be able to get a shot on that 61 if he's going to be playing the ridge line well. And I realized that if I push over here onto this edge, I'll be able to get a shot down into him. Now the T-32 gets lit. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can get a shot into him. I don't think that he's that stupid to just pop over and let me shoot him. But right where I'm sitting here, I'm thinking that the Type 61 is probably going to crest just somewhere around here and peek over and try to light. And if this happens, I have very good view range. My brother has good view range, and he's sitting up there quite aggressively, and I hope I can thread a nice shot into him. Hindsight, looking at this replay, I should have been pushed around. There's really no chance that he would have lit me behind this bush, and I should have been ready, but again, I was playing really defensively because I didn't want to risk getting shot. Now the Grill is pushing up north, along with the Scorpion, and along with the Udas. That leaves a T-30 pushing up into the middle, and my brother and I guarding the base. And I realize I can't sit here forever, and then the Type 61 gets lit. Now, this is where this tank is very painful, and this is where I had a lot of tears trying to get my third mark on this thing, because you miss so many of your snapshots unless you're completely aimed. Now, the T-30 is in the middle. He's taking the aggro. He's getting shot at by the STRV, and I believe the Type 61 is going to be very interested that there is a T-30 coming up from behind him. The second I see that he's down in that gully and that he's not going to give me another shot, I decide it's time for me to move. Now, there's really nothing that can light me over here, so I'm going to try to get up into the H1 area as quickly as possible by cutting across down through here. Going around would have been kind of a worthless thing to do. It would have just eaten up more time, and time is of the essence. There's about 6 minutes left on the clock, and I know I need to get into position in order to whittle down those TDs and that Type 61. They have 2 blue players left, and they're not going to go without a fight. They're going to be very, very, conservative with their HP. They're going to be very accurate with their guns, and both of those tanks have very, very nasty guns, which would easily put me to an end. So again, I'm not driving down into that gully to my left just because I don't want to waste time driving back up it. I'm going to just drive right along the edge, not to lose any momentum, and then once I crest over this, I'm going to play the depression, because now I am getting close enough to where he could theoretically light me if he was playing that ridge and he had optics on, and I really don't want to risk that, and I wouldn't be able to really return the fire. There's really no point for me to play that ridge. Now he is lit, and now I do have motivation. He's probably not going to be able to light me from that distance, and I'm able to get a nice shot into him. Boom, 490. This is why I love this gun so much. A tier 9 medium tank, being able to put in that kind of alpha damage is quite amazing. I mean, that's like E75 caliber kind of damage that you could do in a medium tank. If you really like that peekaboo play style where you can trade shots quite effectively and relocate, this tank is quite amazing. Now, I really don't have a shot on this guy here. He's probably not going to drive forward like he did last time because he knows where I am and he's playing very, very smart. Now, my brother can't move forward just because there's a Scorpion and an SDRV looking straight down that line, and if he is, if he pushes forward, he's going to get killed in a matter of seconds. The Grill and the Scorpion are pushing around, and I'm kind of just wasting time now waiting for them to move. I could, I guess, move a little bit more forward, maybe down to the G1 area, which I think I eventually do in this replay to get that angle. But right now, I'm thinking, okay, the STRV is going to be lit any second now by that Grill, and I'm just going to wait it out so I can get a shot on either of these guys. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm waiting like this for the shot, and I'm like, screw it, it's not going to happen, and I start driving, that's the second they get lit. And so I really don't want that to happen. Okay, so now I notice the Scorpion is lit. He's down in C1, and that leaves the STRV. Now, I think the STRV is about half life. I think that's what Jacob told me over TeamSpeak. He's probably around like 800 health. And, that's 2 shots for me. The Type 61 is a 1 shot. I have no idea what the Scorpion's on, but he is not the best player, so I'm not worried about that in the least. Alright, cutting down to 3 minutes. Our guys haven't lit anything yet, except for the Scorpion, and I realize it's time to move. Now, if the Type 61 popped around either way, he could easily spot me here. My goal here was to light him, and I was able to do that. And the reason I did that was because my brother is pushing forward, and I wanted to kind of draw that aggro so he could at least get a shot in if he was able to peek around. The UDES takes a blind shot at me, at least I think it was, and this is where this tank is kind of frustrating to play. I have no gun depression, and there's really no way for me to manufacture any gun depression here. So I'm waiting for myself to get unlit, which I think I am now, and I peek up thinking maybe I can get a shot off. I really can't, and I'm gonna wait for him to get lit, because if I peek over and try to get a shot off, he could be looking right at me and I could potentially die. I peek around expecting the UDES to be lit. He looks over at me, quick snapshot, able to finish him off. Kind of a lucky snapshot. Like I said, you maybe make 50-50 of those. And the Type 61 is lit. Now, there's absolutely nothing that's going to shoot me here except for the Type 61, and he's completely preoccupied with my brother. Boom. Another kill, and I'm able to confirm the kill. and put myself up to 3 kills and 5100 damage. Scorpion is there. He's not paying any attention to me, I'm assuming, and I'm hoping to at least get a little bit more damage before the game is up. My brother able to weave an awesome shot into him, and I'm able to secure that kill. Anyway, the main reason I want to show you guys this game was, the key factor is surviving. Surviving is so important in any tank you play, because when you're dead, you're not going to be able to do anything to contribute toward your team. Even if you're alive and you're sitting in a bush the entire game, you still can have more of an impact than if you were to drown yourself or go YOLO. I didn't give up, and when I put myself into harm's way down when I was fighting the WZ in the low down the K line, I realized that I had enough HP to run away and still survive, or a good chance anyway, and I took that risk. If I had stayed there and gritted my teeth and tried to fight them off, I would have probably died within the next 30 seconds. I realized, okay, I need to get out of here. I hardly have any damage. I need to survive. I need to win this. And I ducked down into cover, knowing there was no arty and knowing that there was a very little chance that those guys could have shot me. And if they did pursue me by coming over the crest to shoot me, they would have been in harm's way of our grill and our tank destroyers that were sitting up on the hill watching them. So, in my opinion, that was a smart move, relocating like that. I did get some spots in the beginning. It didn't really mean anything, but getting those spots allowed me to realize that there was a big push going down the one line. Then looking at the map again, I realized that no one was going down the one line, and so I swung back around, and that was the deciding factor. Going the middle allowed me to realize where the team needed me the most, and allowed me to actually go fill that void. Once I was down there again, it didn't work out in the best way, but I was able to really hunker down and work well with my brother over TeamSpeak and take out that E100 in the bat chat and eventually win this game for our team with 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. I was able to get some good damage and ultimately have a lot of fun playing with Jacob. Anyway, guys, hopefully you found this replay helpful or, at least entertaining. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a like down below. It really helps my channel out. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll talk to you guys later.